In this tutorial, I'm going to go over how to create a hairbrush in Illustrator. We haven't used the brush tool or created any custom brushes, so we're going to do both in one project. Relatively easy. What you want to do is make sure you create a new layer. So we're going to option click on the new layer button, name that new layer hair, and then click OK. Then over here in the scratch board off the artboard, we are going to create a custom hairbrush. We want something that has some kind of split end kind of look. So we're going to start with an ellipse tool. Click on the ellipse tool. We want to make sure we have no stroke and a black fill. And click in the empty scratch board somewhere. And we're going to make the width 300 pixels and the height 15 pixels. So 300 pixels by 15 pixels, and click OK. Next, we want to take our direct selection tool, the white arrow, and click on each end point. So I'm going to start on the left side, then I'm going to come up to the convert selected anchor points to a corner up here on the top toolbar. I'm going to do the right side same way. Now I'm going to take my black arrow, my direct selection tool, and well, actually, let's see. Let's try, we're going to make a square end one first. So rectangle tool, we're going to draw about halfway, just like that. Select both shapes, and then like we've done in the past, we're going to use the shape builder tool and option delete those extra parts. It's going to leave us with this kind of little hair strand. I'm going to zoom in with the zoom tool. And now that I'm looking at this, it's a little short, so I'm going to just drag it out a little bit, something along those lines. Select your new initial hair bristle shape, Command C to copy it, and Command F to paste in front. Now we want to directly select this right endpoint, the pointed point. So we're going to use our direct selection tool. Click on the letter A, then double click on the anchor point, and we're going to slightly drag that up and into the left. I'm going to take the black arrow again, which is the V key. I'm going to click on that shape, Command C to copy, Command F to paste a copy on the front, A on the keyboard for the selection tool, double click on that anchor point, and then drag the hair up like that. V on the keyboard for the selection tool. We're going to select the original shape, Command C to copy, Command F to paste in front, your direct selection tool, double click, and then we're going to do on the bottom what we did on the top. Just kind of make these hair strands. So Command C, Command F, direct selection tool, double click, drag it into the left. I'm going to highlight what we made and make a copy of it. So I'm option dragging a copy down below. On the first one, highlight all the shapes we drew, come to Pathfinder, merge them into, or unite them into a single shape. We're going to open up our brushes palette and create a new brush. So we'll have it selected and then create a new brush. We want to make sure that you choose Art Brush. There are several other options, and we'll make custom brushes using one of these in the future, but for now, Art Brush only, and click OK. We don't want to have a generic name like Art Brush. Since this is hair, I'm going to simply rename it to Hairbrush 1. I'm going to highlight the whole name, Hairbrush 1, and copy it so we can use it on the next brush. And this is really, really important. We want to change the colorization method from none to tints. If you do not change it to tints, when you go to draw with this brush in the future, it will always be black. Tints will allow any color you choose for stroke up here on the right to replace the black as you draw it out. So we have tints and hairbrush 1, click OK, and you will now see it in our palette here. Next up, I'm going to take the other shape that we drew or made a copy of. I'm going to highlight just the left end points. And I'm going to take my scale tool, which is S on the keyboard, scale tool, and kind of right in the middle and off to the left like this. I'm going to click on my mouse and drag my hand down. Try that again. Select all those points. Scale tool. We try to scale it in. Something like that. Highlight it all. Pathfinder, unite. With the tool selected, the new shape selected, come to our brushes panel, click new brush, art brush again, click OK, paste up in the front and rename it to hairbrush 2, and change our method just like on the last one to tints and click OK. So now we have 2 brushes. I'm going to hit Command 0 to come back into full view. We haven't used our brush tool yet. Most of you haven't, so I'm going to click. This will work with both the pen tool and the brush tool. But I'm going to show you the paintbrush tool. It's not going to work very smooth because I'm on a trackpad, but with your mouse it would be a whole lot better. I'm going to deselect the shape that we made, go back to the brush tool, and then for Mrs. Hayes' hair right here, I'm going to select blonde. I'm looking for where the root is at the part, and I'm going to click and drag something like that, and it's going to give me a hair strand. Obviously mine's not perfect. Drawing this kind of curve with the trackpad is not easy at all. I'm also going to show you that you can vary the stroke width. So you want various sizes and maybe a couple different shades for highlights, and we have the 2 different brushes that we created. Right? Obviously that one's super thick, but it could be used as a base to fill in, and then ones like this we can make a slightly different color for a highlight. So if I come back, take my brush tool over the top, right, do highlights or something like that. So experiment. You can even make more brushes in this, and I would try that. Maybe make one with 1 or 2 strands that stick out. You can make one that curves a little bit at the end. You can see some that I have over here. If I go to my library, you won't have these, but just to show you some that you can make, if I come under this user defined, you can see that these are other types of hair brushes, right? You don't have these, but you can look at how they are created and how I created this one, and you might want to make some that have kind of a slight bend or something like that. So good luck with that. Try to make those custom brushes, experiment with width, and then maybe have a couple different colors for highlights, and then just kind of form the direction of your hair, and hopefully it comes out looking nice.